I had gotten a call from Bert, and then I tried to get back to the stream, and it like wouldn't let me. And then it also like wouldn't end the stream. Like I couldn't figure out any way to make the stream end other than just start another one. I hope that's what happened. Is that this one overwrote? Oh my God, they got chapstick. It's a pretty cute shirt, but I don't know. I don't know if I need a shirt right now. There's only 20 minutes before they're closing this whole fucking thing up. You can hear the vacuums. You can hear them. You can hear the vacuums in the distance telling you it's all over. The vacuums are coming to take us away. The vacuums are gonna vacuum us up. The vacuums are gonna vacuum all of this away. All of anything that wasn't purchased will be vacuumed. Nobody bought it. Vacuumed. Everything will be vacuumed. Oh my God. It's a Charmander identical to the Charmander I've had since I was a child. And I've never seen another one anywhere since having them. Amazing. What a sight to see. I didn't even look at the price tag on it because I was afraid I might buy it. Hey, it's Baten Kaito. I know Victor has a copy of that because I'm pretty sure Hope got it for him for his birthday at some point. Seems like its price is still going up, so you know it's probably good that she got in on an investment property in its prime state. Do I need any of these cables? Actually, having like wouldn't be. I need a new PC controller now that I think about it. I wonder where I can find a pretty decent, cheap PC controller. I should have thought about this in the fucking 3 days I've been here. Look at this gigantic cat Luigi. Look at this little pink Luffy. Tamagotchi-ken. I think that means egg life or something like that. Egg living? I don't know. Look at that big Mario statue. Okay, where can I real quickly dive in and probably find a decent PC controller? I gotta get it back. I feel like there were controllers at a lot of places. I don't think I've been into this thing yet. Oh, I got a lot of Switch games here too. Anything interesting? Princess Peach Showtime. I do kind of want to play that. It's still $60 here. And we got most of the normal games here. And Galgun 2. What the hell are... Oh my God, what? What? Wait, what? 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 You put your... Oh. Oh. Does it come with the game? That's incredible. Yoshihime-san is only 50, but Dodonpachi is 100. I'd rather have Dodonpachi, but it's twice the price. Oh boy. That was a limited run games. Y'all really got my number. God damn. We're looking for busting that shit down. Anybody who's ready to go is ready to go. Anybody everybody who's making a sale is making a sale. Can I find a controller for PC in the next 10 minutes? I'm definitely walking against the tide of movement. More people are leaving than are shopping at this point. Let's see. Do the Key Dorks furniture? No, they're packing up. All right. I see consoles. I see mini consoles. I see lots of consoles and mini consoles. I see flasks. I already bought some of the flasks for Bird for his birthday. I see. There's some controllers here, but not PC controllers. Just old school controllers. And I found it's such a like mad dash. Everybody's like trying to get their last thing before they go. The vacuums are coming. The vacuums are coming. The convention's shutting down, y'all. It's almost over. I'm just trying to see if I can find a last minute controller for my PC that I didn't think to look for some reason. Until now. There's that Charmander again. Oh, and they got Electric Pikachu Boogaloo. Pikachu's Electric Boogaloo, I mean. It's a good manga. Hey, here's some controllers. Are any of these for PC or are they all classic games? Looks like they're all classic games. Although an Xbox One controller would be perfectly fine, I guess. It's only 35 bucks. I'd rather have... Well, that's what I have. Hey, the Xbox One controller, that come with the cables and all?
They just run on AA.
Oh, okay, but it wouldn't work for a PC without a...
You'd have to look up if they have Bluetooth. I don't know if they do.
Thank you. Damn, I almost bought that Xbox One controller, but he didn't have the cord that goes with it. It's a wireless. I think he was trying to indicate it would work anyway, but I don't want a non-wired one. I don't want to have to work with batteries. That sounds like a pain in the ass. AA batteries on an Xbox One? Really? Fascinating. I didn't even think anything was still made that used AA batteries. Can't I just find a straightforward PC controller somewhere? I swear I saw them somewhere earlier. A lot of old consoles with controllers. A lot of bundles. Wow, it's really thinning out. People are really fucking off. Everyone's making their final purchase and getting the hell out. Well, I don't think I'm going to find a PC controller here, which is fine. I'm not in a dire need. I just bought a Nintendo Switch game anyway. So I don't got to play no what are these? Dynasty Warriors 9. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning for the Switch. I can't believe they even remade Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning for the Switch. Alright, I'm getting the hell out of here before I get tempted to buy more things. It's that girl from you know, the Shy Girl show. Oh, looks like this is all cleared out. Damn. Yeah, it's truly over. It's over, gang. It's all over. Let's go say hi to Bernie. Your friends played the Tekken 8 tournament, Lil Cacti? That's sick. My friend Jab was, I think, commentating that. I know he was doing voiceover for some live stream. I'm live streaming.
Oh,
hello,
Kurt. Hey, it's me. I'm about to, in 10 minutes tell everyone that they can't come back in.
Yeah, everybody's leaving. It's kind of a everybody get the hell out energy.
Oh my god, it's Christian.
There got the vacuums going.
Excuse me, sir. How do you feel about the curse of the medallion?
It's
Do you believe
definitely-
it's real?
I do. I definitely do.
So,
That's not a real one, is
No,
it?
this is
Do
a.
you think the curse still
Samuel.
follows through in spirit?
I think so.
Okay, so you have cursed yourself.
I have. It's
Why have you done this to yourself?
Honestly, it was for the funny, pretty much.
That's a
but-
good reason for it. What is your petition for? To make whiny congressmen play violent video games. Can I sign your petition, please? Oh my god, you got Gwimbley. Ooh.
Yeah, we got all kinds of papers. Hi there. Would you like to sign my petition?
I was in the process of it.
Sign my petition, damn it.
Okay.
Are you going to sign this, or will be your surviving family members?
I don't have surviving family members.
Guilty as charged.
Nice.
If y'all are going in there, you gotta go in quick. So
Yeah, you
closing
do
in
only
10
have
minutes.
like 10 minutes left.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, his legacy's still going to live on, even though.
Yeah, my legacy's gonna live on. Shit. Yeah.
Who were those guys?
That was Christian.
I know, but they seemed like they really wanted to stay being on live stream and not go back in there. just now.
Who doesn't like attention?
God.
God doesn't like attention? Oh my god, that guy's operating his wheelchair by blowing it. It's really cool, actually.
High tech. I just noticed that giant Anya from Spy Family, like looming over everything.
Where?
Like you've been down
Oh yeah. Huh, that's hilarious.
Pyramid head, lumen.
There's a small sip left for you. Gatorade and Monster. Do you want to sit in the car or do you want to hang out here with me once everything closes?
I don't know, maybe both.
Yeah. It would be helpful to have you, be here and look at people.
Okay.
But it's up to you. You can do
As
whatever
long
you
as I'm
want.
not in the, I feel like I will be in the way if I'm here. Because I'm not wearing a Defender shirt. So it's confusing to see someone like me standing around.
And then you can wait in the car. I don't care.
Commiserating.
It's just you'll be waiting in the car for an hour.
Well, I'd probably just stand outside and film people coming out of the convention.
That's fair. Is it still raining out there?
Yeah, a little bit. It's also really hot out there. Like 98 degrees
serious?
out there. Yeah, it's hot as fuck. It's rainy and hot. It's muggy. It's overcast.
Pennsylvania is a trip.
Like, it's not sunny at all, but it's hotter than balls. Will Cacti says, oh shit, I thought I saw a bird when I was coming in this morning, but didn't know. I saw this Christian cosplayer on my way out as well. You gotta follow us on social media, dog.
How dare you not remind me that yesterday was my birthday?
Yeah. Follow Golden
throw
Witch
that away.
Fire and Bird Stork on Twitter. So you know all these things. You know when we're at the con. We were at the con all day the last 2 days.
It's funny. The most acknowledgement I got today was people going like, "Cool headband," which I enjoyed.
We both got one person who recognized us.
Oh, who recognized you?
Just a fan from the PCP days came up and was like, "Are you Digi?" And I was like, "Not anymore. I'm Trixie now." They were like, "Oh, I remember the PCP lectures." And I guess they were helping out with one of the games, like people who made a game and had a
Consoles?
thing.
Oh, the indie thing.
Yeah.
What's
up?
She's live streaming. I'm just. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
See staff.
Yeah, that's Mike. Mike Fleury. He's in charge of the Defenders. That was really funny. I don't think he recognized you.
No, I guess not. It is raining. All right. Well, I guess I can't be here. Like I said, it's confusing for me to stand here talking to you. Looking
Whatever.
Like I gotta
Do whatever you want to do. I don't really have to do anything until 5, and then all I have to do is guard.
7 minutes till 5. So your goal is not to get everybody out, but just to make sure
No.
nobody else comes in.
Justin and Travis and all, a bunch of any defender they can rally. We're going to start from the back probably and just slowly work forward going, get out, leave, run away. And then I'm going to stand here and make sure no one except for vendors, Indian defenders can get back in.
Yeah, Cody's drink soda.
Okay.
I'm back from throwing those drinks away.
Wow, that was fast.
There's a trash can right over there.
I know. Oh, can you take this back? I keep dropping it. It does look like a cool place, though. Fun dungeon.
Sure. Time to throw that away too.
Yeah, I guess.
Have fun, Trixie. It's not closed yet. I mean, there's
It's not
really,
closed yet. It's pretty closed.
Yeah,
There's
they
6
closed off,
minutes.
like the back rooms and all the stages and everything. Like
I could be wrong this year, but I'm pretty sure all the vendors have to get everything out tonight.
yeah, oh yeah, they gotta be gone. I mean, they're packing up and vacuuming shit. Like
Yeah.
like the back layers are done.
We're done.
you know?
It's over.
I kept joking that the vacuums were going to take, like, we're just gonna suck up everything that's not bought, like anything not purchased will just get vacuumed.
That's pretty funny.
The bunny guy reminds me of Munchie, like a young,
Yeah, in a bad way.
like a young Munchie.
Want the photo? It's a nice little group photo.
Can we find the big travel going on? I want to be in and out later. Look at our wedding. You want to take some?
Well,
The one
oh
spot
hey,
we do.
nice pommy. He got a pommy. It's a good looking pommy. I wonder where he got it.
I've seen a couple.
I wonder if they were for sale somewhere. I didn't see anything related to Glitch Media here. There was a booth that was called Glitch, but it was not related to the cartoons. Although I did see one kid cosplaying Pomni. I
Nope.
think I mentioned that last night. That's it. Probably got to go to more of like an artsy cons artist alley to see like a murder drone.
I was
or
sold on
something.
going to MagFest, which that's
Oh, yeah?
DC, right? I was told it was near DC.
Probably.
And then the other one, Otakon. Does that not happen in Virginia Beach?
Otakon is in DC or Maryland. I'm not sure which this year. Probably DC still.
Well,
But Otakon is my favorite convention, and you know, we get all the press notifications of every guest that's showing up. It's gonna be a pretty packed show, I think, like guest-wise. They got.
I think you should try to get a panel here next year.
You think I should try to get a panel where?
Here.
Here?
Next
I will.
year.
I will do it.
Because, you know, Jab was, he wasn't a panel, but he was commentating on the Tekken thing.
Yeah. But he's qualified to commentate on the tech.
Dano,
Sure.
a fitness expert, did a panel on fitness and video games
Yeah.
and how they intersect. I think you are as expert in your topics as those two are.
I think I could become an expert in shmup games and do some kind of...
That would be great.
I want to unite
Toho
the
panel?
shmup fans. Yeah, maybe a Toho.
I don't know. I think it would be fun for you to do like a FromSoft panel also. 'Cause
Oh,
you
yeah.
mentioned
I
like
did
no one's
mention
really
that.
talking about FromSoft.
I'm surprised they don't have some kind of... I mean, the problem is I'm not really like an insider with any particular knowledge in those things, but, you know.
I mean,
But, I mean, if nobody else is going to do it, someone should. Someone needs to rise to the occasion.
all right. I need you to
Otakon
stop
is
standing in the
DC.
same place and recording me. I have 3 minutes before I have to start
Alright.
paying attention.
I'm going to go out there and film people who are leaving the con.
Good luck.
Oh, is that a JoJo? Very good.
I have one in it. I have one in his.
Yeah, she was definitely Giorno.
Amy!
That's kind of overpowered as it is. It is been too So is it good?
All right, man. I'll see you later. All right. Yeah.
Bringing the chairs out and everything. Spilling out into the streets. 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 I'm gonna get like a head-on angle. That'll be more fun. The big exodus of nerd. Everybody's waving to whoever's in that car. I'm gonna sit on the curb and watch people leave. It's actually not as hot as I thought it was out here. And it's not raining that badly. Barely a drizzle. OMG, the fucking sky is anime. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty decent sky. Oh, the Helldivers cosplayers have been the best. I love the Helldivers. I do wish more of them went for, 'cause there's a ton of different costumes in that game. Most people went for sort of the standard, you know, beginners. It still looks great. What's up? What's up, people of the YouTubes? What's going on? I'm just gonna sit here and watch this for a while, so if anybody really wants to talk to me about anything, let's do it. Check out these guys. That man in pink is definitely upon the Ajax digital circle thing. Oh yeah, of course. That's right. How did I not realize he's supposed to be the pink bunny from, that's why he's carrying Pomni around. Doy. I didn't even think about it. He's definitely in character. But he's doing a pretty, now that I realize that he is trying to be that character, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that is how that character would be. Smart choice. Flynn, I will have fun going home, but the con is over. This is literally it. Bird is helping to kick everybody out right now. Yeah, I don't know. This may be a gaming convention, but if regular car reviews can have a panel here, I don't see much reason I can't. He was definitely struggling to make his panel feel video game relevant even to himself. I don't think it really mattered. It was all his fans. No worries, Planet. I haven't really been streaming for the last few days, so it's hard to be in the loop. This was not an easy place to stream at because the connection in there is pretty bad. So, I was able to do it this morning because not that many people had shown up yet. And then I tried to relaunch after my first stream, and it was too difficult. And then, I relaunched again at the end of the day, knowing that everybody was leaving. Yeah, see, he's got a really good pun. Toy. Oh, he's clashing with a Five Nights at Freddy's. That's how you refer to it. An individual character from Five Nights at Freddy's, right? A Five Nights at Freddy's. Does Bird usually help out at TMG or other cons? So far he's only done too many games, but he wants to volunteer at more cons. He likes being part of the volunteer staff. He's done it 3 times here. We didn't come last year because we were working across, somewhere on the other side of the country. But 3 out of the last 4 years he's volunteered. Pretty much they always put him on the front. Like they either put him right here or right in there, which is where he is right now. Oh, it's starting to pick up the rain a little bit, so I'm thinking I gotta get him an awning.
I don't even the track. Where is it?
I'm just gonna stand in front of the entrance.
Thank you.
I guess that's why not.
So I got one of the heroes, one of the slime, and then one of the golem. I just feel like I have an empty wall. Let's fix that.
You're stuffing.
Let's see if we can see that in there. I can't
It doesn't really matter.
How is Clippa doing? Clippa is with Tony from Hack the Movies right now. So to fully explain why we do this convention, it's mostly that we're friends with Tony from Hack the Movies, all of us being callers into the Dick Show. who met basically because we all were, we're all people who had been regular callers, me, Riley, and Tony. Riley and Tony became friends. It led Riley to bringing me and Bird up to meet Tony and all his crew. At the time, he still kind of, I think Retroware owns his brand. I don't know if he works for them directly anymore, but Retroware runs this convention. They own the AVGN brand. They own Tony, so this is basically Retroware's convention, which is a company that is newer than the convention itself, but the con's like 20 years old or some shit. But it's based around Angry Video Game Nerd and the fact that he just lives around Philadelphia, and this is the Greater Philadelphia Expo. So actually, hey, look, the whole timeline of it is right here. Watch this. It starts in 2004 with 50 people, and then it made it to the Expo Center with 1,800 people, and now it's literally 10 times, well actually, going to 10, estimated 25%. So yeah, that's the whole history of it, and it just so happened to be there when I was talking about it. How lucky. Some of the people who run it are standing right there. Justin Silverman. I don't know if that other person's name is actually like public, so I'm not going to say it, but yeah, those are two of the 4 owners of the con, I think, right there. Ryan Schott's one of them. So yeah, it's truly shutting down if even the people who run it are on their way out, on their way to the front, making sure everything is almost hauled out. It's funny. But yeah, so basically, yeah, because of the fact that we know Tony, we know the people who run the convention. So Bird wanted to volunteer at it because there's not really much for him to do. He doesn't care about celebrities. He doesn't purchase games usually, unless they're on PC. He doesn't care about owning physical things. We're always on the move, so we don't really have any room to carry around any kind of collectible stuff, which is most of what this con is. It's like a trade show, but it also has like some internet celebrities, which, going to their panels and stuff, that's fine. The real fun is if you get to go to the parties that surround it, where you'll end up meeting those people, in a context where you can actually have conversations with them. That's the most fun part of all the conventions, is all the parties surrounding them. But this year, the parties were either whack or non-existent, so it ended up being much more of a hang out with my own friends sort of a thing. I hung out with Frog Tony a lot. Frog Tony, he's part of the Free Riley movement. He's part of the anti-Rippa movement, anti-Young Rippa, Free Young Clippa, freeriley.fund. Riley still needs that money, a lot of it, in order to actually afford legal defense and not go back to jail. But anyway, yeah, so I hung out with Frog Tony a whole lot. I hung out with Manny Muskets. We did a live stream last night, or this morning, depending on how you look at it, which was, I think, fucking hilarious. Manny is one of the funniest people I know, and he got on a couple riffs that had me die. Because my phone died. There's only one person watching right now, so I'm just going to end this one and let it, this is just my sign-off. Now you understand what happened. Oh wait, no, people are here. Yellow plus red says we back. We are back. Oh my god, it's Kentaro with $1. Oh my god, everyone's here. You're still here. Two of you. I don't need quite so much AC. I've got my phone plugged into this little thing. This little fucking AC thing. It's louder than shit. So apologies for the noise. I'll just toss that onto the floor. Welcome. Yes, Kentaro, yes. You stuck with it and you were rewarded with greatness. Because I'm still here. Kicking in this day and age. Well, Too Many Games is over. They're kicking everybody out. Bird's still in there helping to kick everybody out. It was a good time. Overall, a good time. I love to be on my... I think I've said this a few times, but my 2 favorite places to be are in the woods or at a convention. And I know there are places that combine both, and I'm very curious about that circuit. if it even is a circuit. I want to create a circuit out of it. I'll find a way to get to every camping con. I'm in the car now because not only because my phone died, but also it's like raining out there now. Look at how dramatic, look at how wet and rainy. Yeah, I'll just sit in the car till Bird's done, I guess. Whew, feeling pretty wiped. So, in summary, I mean, I told the bits of the story of this weekend over each of these streams, but basically, we left from Virginia, Southern Virginia where we live. We camped for a night on the Potomac River. We visited several breweries on the way there. We hung out with our friend John, who was working in the Hampton Roads area. So that was why he was on a stream with me that was lost to time. But we were going to stream with him again. The plan was actually, I really wanted to redo the recording of the audiobook of Sunops Chapter 1, using both Bird and John to play the voices of the two guy characters. But when we were initially going to do this, Bird had to go to bed, and so John and I did a different live stream, and that was the one that ended up being terminated. And then I wanted to get them to do those voices when we were going to go camping out in the woods, but as soon as we got there, a gigantic thunderstorm started. So I pretty much put all ambitions of that out of mind. And then the next morning, John went home to Illinois, so he did not continue the trip with us, or else I would have gotten them to do the voices in the hotel. But it was like a 3-hour drive. Actually, no, John didn't leave us yet there. He left us after Harrisburg, because we went and met Asher and her brother in Harrisburg with John. We had all hung out before at a Dick Show event, so that, we all knew each other. So we figured we'd bring John around to say hi. Then John went home to Illinois. Then we came to Too Many Games. On Thursday afternoon, we went to Tony's house. Yeah, the night before the con actually started, we went to Tony from Hack the Movie's house because even though he was an hour and a half away from our hotel and we were debating not doing it and just staying home and streaming, he was celebrating his 300th episode, and we had just bought like a preposterous number of burgers and hot dogs that there was no way we were going to eat all of unless we had a large group of people. Manny Muskets showed up, and did a interrupted guests thing. So it was, Tony from Hack the Movies, Manny, Riley, me, and Bird doing a cookout. That was really fun. Then we all watched X-Men Origins Wolverine. I struggled to stay awake. And then we struggled to drive home to the hotel afterwards at like 4 in the morning. Then the next day after sleeping in, Bird didn't have to work on Friday, so we came in like relatively late. We really only stuck around from like 2 to 4. We were just there to pick up our badges and like get a lay of the convention. And we walked around for 2 hours and didn't run into anybody we knew and didn't really see anything we wanted to do. So we were like, all right, well, we know what the con is. Let's go. Was Friday when we went to hang out with Friday we went to hang out with Bird's dad, which was great. We had an amazing dinner at some kind of like bar and restaurant in the town he lives in. And some fancy shit. His dad always takes us to some kind of like crazy food, like, real restaurant, like gourmet, like some shit, so with a flavor profile I've never even tasted, So you go to a nature party festival this year, Flyknit. How was that? What kind of, was it like a camping thing or just like a hanging out outside type of a thing? So I feel like all festivals are kind of like an outdoor activity, but unless they're, I guess sometimes a con is considered a festival too. Maybe that's like what the difference is in my mind. It's like a convention is in a building and a festival is like in a yard or whatever on a lawn. But anyway, we went to dinner with Bird's dad. Had a great time. Then I think we did a live stream. Oh, we did a live stream in between those two things. Yeah, that was the first stream. The one where we were in the hotel, the bad hotel Wi-Fi. That was in between. So I would have told the first leg of the story in more detail in that. So if for some reason this is the first of this weekend that you're seeing, I'm gonna tell you how to get your saga caught up. You know, you can start with the hotel Wi-Fi video. That'll tell you what happened up till Too Many Games started. You know, and then Saturday night, me and Manny told the story of everything that happened on Saturday, and that was mostly me hanging out with Manny Muskets and Frog Tony, and Tony from Hack the Movies, and playing shmups. You can watch the video I took this morning where I play all the video games that I liked at the convention, which were all mostly empty most of the time. So yeah, I would say I've done a pretty good job of, between the last like 4 or 5 live streams, summarizing everything that happened at Too Many Games. So you could probably follow it all through that. But now we are tonight going to go hang out with Bird's dad and his wife and daughter and whoever else might be there, because Bird's birthday just happened, his dad's wife's birthday just happened, so we're all going to celebrate everybody's birthday together. And then we're leaving town tomorrow. It'll probably be like a 6 or 7 hour drive, plus whatever stops we make, of which we will probably make several hours worth of stops in getting home tomorrow. It's unfortunate that this falling right on the end of the month means I didn't really get to do a big push to make a whole lot of money at the end of the month. I think for some reason, I tricked myself into thinking there were extra days in June that I would be available to like really sit down and do more, I don't know, like watch stuff for $1 streams or whatever. We're not making as much money this month as I did last month. Rest in pieces. It was such a strong start. But whatever. We are here now. Appreciate it for real. Thank you. Always glad to be appreciated. And I was walking around in this White Widow cosplay earlier. I took some pictures of it on Twitter, and I think I only showed myself a little bit in the live stream wearing it, but nobody recognized the character at all. Nobody stopped me or asked about it, except for one person when I was in line for Monster asked if I was one of the bosses from Metal Gear Solid 4. Neither one of us could remember the name. Because first he was like, "Are you like that chick from Metal Gear Solid?" And I was like, "Who? Like the Quiet? The boss?" And he's like, No. She wore a helmet. I'm like, "Oh, like that fucking octopus or whatever? The spite, one of the fucking 8-legged bitches from the 4th game?" Okay. Yeah, you had to go to Twitter. I tweeted it. And then I had the first day when we were only there for 2 hours. I was dressed as President Loki, the femme version of President Loki. I also have a picture of that on Twitter. Nobody recognized that either, but I didn't think I looked that much like the character anyways. Like, I had bought that cosplay because of the fact that Girl Loki just happened to have the same hairstyle I used to have, where it was like shoulder length with like dyed just halfway down. So like now granted, Girl Loki is not President Loki. President Loki is a guy Loki in the show, but they made a girl President Loki cosplay, so I went, fuck it, I look like the president version of Girl Loki from the Loki show. But I don't anymore, so I was just wearing a sun hat with it. And we were only there for a couple hours, but the skirt's kind of hard to move around in, and it was like eat anything and it starts to feel tight, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna wear this one too much. This one feels a little tight. But yeah, the White Widow cosplay, I was just like, nobody knows this fucking character. Literally nobody saw Black Widow. The only reason I saw Black Widow is because when I watched the Marvel movies, I watched them through Disney Plus's chronological order, where they put the movies in chronological order, and Black Widow makes sense if you see it before Avengers Endgame, but since it was released after Avengers Endgame, it made no fucking sense to anybody who had seen that movie, which was like everyone but me. Anybody who cares about any of it at all saw that before I did. So, you know, I understand why nobody saw Black Widow. But Yelena Belova, also they never call her White Widow. They never make her called White Widow in the movies. Like there's a whole run of White Widow comic books about this character. I think they were just setting her up to take over the name Black Widow after Scarlett Johansson stopped being the character, but that didn't make sense either because she also takes down the whole Black Widow organization, so why would you use the same name? It doesn't make sense. She should just be White Widow, and I have my own ideas of what would have made a good sequel to that, but the MCU has basically had to, like, I think is kind of soft rebooting at this point because it's fallen apart under the weight of its own size. Quiet can't wear clothes. That's true. I remembered that as I said it. I was like, oh right, she's in like a bikini. She's in like no clothes. But I could also see thinking that what I was wearing, because it was just like a skin tight onesie, you know, so you could mistakenly think that parts of it were supposed to be skin or something. I don't know. But yeah, I was just thinking of girl, like you say girl from Metal Gear to me, I go in rank of hotness, you know, in my mind. So I'm like, okay, Quiet, that's the girl from Metal Gear, right? Meryl, that's the girl from Metal Gear, right? Is there another girl in Metal Gear? The boss, I guess. I actually kind of look. I actually think the outfit kind of looks like the boss. So then when I thought that, I was like, that might actually be who you're talking about. But no, not at all. And then I got it in my head like everybody's gonna see me and just think I'm like a generic Metal Gear character or something. A Metal Gear character they can't quite put their finger on, so they don't want to ask. No, it's a Marvel character you can't quite put your finger on, so you don't want to ask. Sniper Wolf, is Sniper Wolf a chick? I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3 or 4, and I have never beat 1. So I've only watched other people play them, and even then never like all the way through, so my knowledge of it is incredibly vague. But yeah, like I said, this Too Many Games is mostly a game trading convention. I do wish I had brought stuff I want to sell to this con. There's some stuff I probably, because I didn't realize there were people who actually do sell, or I didn't realize there were vendors who buy things at the convention. I thought it was like a strictly, sales thing. So I would have brought some shit to try to sell to some vendors here, maybe. But yeah, it's like anything you could want in terms of obscure video games, you could probably find it. But like, I don't want obscure video games, so for me, it's just like, ooh, that's a lot of pretty cool stuff I don't have any reason to buy, you know, especially because I will pirate it to play it. And there's just not any games I feel that strongly about that I don't already own, you know, like, I have Toho 9, you know, like I have a couple of obscure games that I cared about at some point historically, but like, I pre-ordered the limited run Shantae Advance, like I've said before earlier in the stream. There were a lot of limited run games in there that I was like very tempted by, because I'm like, man, these are cool releases. They do a good job. They release some crazy stuff, like that fucking Dodonpachi Switch arcade machine thing. I don't really know how that, like, if I could imagine that actually being like a satisfying player experience, I would have been more gung-ho about it. But like the idea of holding up a miniature arcade cabinet and playing it with the Switch controller seems kind of asinine. I don't know what they're going for with that. Rewatch Metal Gear Awesome for therapy. I can't imagine that's aged that well. But that's, Ellen, that's like the original Ego Raptor cartoon, back when he used to say the N-word. I'm always tempted to call Ego Raptor by like she, her pronouns, just because there's never been a more transparent trans egg in the whole history of time. Like I feel like secretly somewhere deep, like maybe if you just start saying it, then then Aaron will start to recognize it. There's like lightning going on outside and shit. It's a fucking real thunderstorm right now. Like what the fuck? Man, there's not even people coming out of the expo center anymore, so I'm guessing they're literally like fucking. Okay, no, I just saw a few people come out, but they must be like even kicking, trying to get the vendors out by this point. It's 5:33. When it comes to like the actual games that they have here, it's an interesting combination because despite the name Too Many Games, and it is a good-sized arcade, it's one of the bigger arcades that you're gonna find in the United States. It's never as big as you kind of would think, like it always feels a little bit like this isn't too many games, it's just enough games. I'm always also surprised that the playing video games is not a bigger part of the con for more people. Like I guess you're thinking, well, I got games at home, like what do I need to go, but like the obscure arcade games are like the most interesting part to me. Is like, well, where would you play this game or like this fucking thing with this crazy controller and stuff? But most of those games, the people who end up crowding them are people who like clearly have played the shit out of that game. People who clearly do find that game and have played the shit out of it. They have tracked down the arcade that has it. I'm always blown away by that too. Like you're just such an addict to this game that you gotta, everywhere it shows up, like you're following the game, like con to con, just to play fucking whatever weird rhythm game. Or maybe you've gotten like expert at the fucking like home console version, so now you're out to like play the real thing. It's just like, oh my god, it's so much more satisfying with these controls, But I kept finding myself playing Twinkle Star Sprites, this one shooter game I never actually caught the name of, 1080 Avalanche on GameCube, and Soul Calibur 1 on Sega Dreamcast. And then I played Mortal Kombat and Rampage with Frog Tony and got stomped because he's 10 years older than me, and obviously therefore was a teenager in the 90s and probably therefore a master of Mortal Kombat at the time. Granted, we played Mortal Kombat 4, which is it's okay, but the range is too small, and the levels are too big for how long your limbs are, I guess. I don't know, it's a weird game. But it is a lot smoother to play than fucking Rampage. I mean, not Rampage, Primal Rage. Did I say Rampage? I meant Primal Rage. We did not play Rampage. We both looked at Rampage, but somebody else was playing it, and we were like, maybe another time we play Rampage. But yeah, like, I'm not that good at any competitive games, so I'm always afraid to jump on those. I would prefer having people jump on the co-op for the shooter games, I wanna make friends with somebody who's really into co-op shmups. I feel like a lot of people take shmups as like an excuse to be like, I have achieved personal nirvana and perfection. I am the apex shmupper. But I like the multiplayer shmups. The versus ones are fun too. I mean, Twinkle Star Sprites was an awesome versus shmup, kind of in the same style as Toho 9, which I really like. Lily SG, what are you in here about? Are you a man or a woman? I can't tell. And how many genders are there? I don't know, as many as you want. Who gives a shit? What's your deal, Lily SG? Where'd you come from? What planet is this? Ba ba ba. Shmups are really fun to play co-op. I agree. Unfortunately, they're usually P2P, which is unplayable. I don't know what you mean by that. P2P? Can't remember what that stands for. Yeah, I like the first or second year I was at Too Many Games, I met a fan who was just like, I think they had been sitting at like the Commodore 64 games or something like that, like playing really, really retro games, and then they saw me, and I was like, you want to play games together? And they're like, sure. And then I was like, you know, sit me with a shmup, and then we played some two-player shmup, and they were definitely carrying my ass, but I was like, this is what friendship should be like, you know? I never have seen that person again. Only time I ever interacted with them in my whole dang life. But it was a beautiful time, getting carried through that shmup. I could imagine a world where we sat for a whole weekend, and they carried me until I was good enough that we could actually make it through that game. Peer-to-peer, okay, yeah. That sounds like it would not be it would sound like the lag would be bad, would be the problem. Yeah, I've never tried to play one like through the internet, like a two-player shmup through online. I've never gotten into online play really, aside from very few. There's very few online games that have been able to hook me, and even then, I always feel like I'm limited because I don't like dedicating myself to the game and to the team like that. You know, I don't like having to feel like my fuck ups are gonna affect other people in some way in a video game. So, you know, I've had spurts of playing like Halo, Gears of War, Overwatch, a couple of MMOs. Helldivers 2 is the most recent. But usually I only want to play these games if I have somebody live with me while we're online. You know, like me and Bird playing Helldivers together with a couple other people, or like Apex or Overwatch or whatever. Like, if it's me and Bird on a team and then we've got a couple others, that's different. But like, if I'm playing by myself, I almost never want to play an online game because I don't want to feel like I am beholden to like random strangers who I don't necessarily like or care about, and then if they try to like talk shit about me because of the way I play a game, I'm like, I don't care, dude. You know, like, this is a fucking video game. The fact that you're so invested makes you pathetic to me. It makes me feel like, why am I engaging with this? You know, like, why am I putting myself in a place with people like this? So, you know, but it's different if you got a friend with you, because then it's like, well, I'm just playing video games with my friend, and other people are here, and the interactions can be positive or negative, but at least it's something that we're doing together. It's not just like me being mad or whatever at like some rando, you know. But I grew up with couch multiplayer and couch co-op because I got two younger brothers, you know, and it was very rare that I played video games by myself or had the opportunity to play video games by myself, or even really the desire. You know, I usually was playing, like, I grew up playing a lot of Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, you know, Diddy Kong Racing, what other fucking Tony Hawk, all on multiplayer, you know? So, like, racing games, fighting games, party games, anything like that, I was a lot more likely to have the chance to even, you know, play than a single player game, just because usually all of us were kind of playing together. My favorite game, Phantasy Star Online, is because it is such a legendary couch multiplayer experience, despite the title, Phantasy Star Online. If you played it on GameCube where you had no internet connectivity, I mean, I know it was like possible, but I didn't know how to do it. You could just play it as a couch game. It was phenomenal, nonetheless. But yeah, I guess my interest in video games tends to be mostly like cute shmups, and not necessarily just cute 'em ups, but like, you know, it's stuff like Dodonpachi, like the cave shooters and the Toho shooters. So like cute shmups and fighting games, but I'm not any good at them. Like, I like playing fighting games with friends. but never have I been the best in my group of friends at a game, except for maybe Soul Calibur 2. But it's because I don't know anybody who's ever like tried to be good at Soul Calibur 2, you know. Or like Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. Even that, I had friends I couldn't beat at that game, and they were barely playing it. But Soul Calibur 2 is like the only fighting game I've ever had consistent victory with. I've never challenged anybody good at it. What do I like besides fighting games and shmups? And action RPGs, you know, but like I never find time for those anymore. Like whatever few single player games I did ever get into is mostly derivative of Zelda, or later on derivative of FromSoft games. But even like the last time I tried to play Elden Ring, I just didn't have patience for it. I was like, I can't see myself spending 75 hours playing this video game. Like the baseline loop of gameplay isn't so satisfying that it makes me feel like, oh, I want to do this combination of button presses for fucking 100 hours or whatever. Like, nah, I'm fine. You know, that was kind of how I had felt playing Terra Online. Like, you know, my video, the best 10 seconds of Terra Online, was about how like literally the suite of key presses, sweep I guess would be the word, the sweep of key presses that I would make to do my main combo in that game was just so fucking satisfying that literally doing it for hundreds of hours stayed fun, you know? But eventually I stopped, you know? Like at some point I got tired of doing dailies and I never played the game again. So, you know, Ocarina of Time is a game I know I could pick up any day of the week and just like run around in circles and I'll probably have a good time. And I'm not going to get, like, incredibly frustrated if I actually try to make progress like I will in Elden Ring, so... you know. Last game you completed was Persona 5, and that was the last game you were invested in. And see, I still haven't... It's crazy now that they're remaking the Personas. Because, like, when Persona 3 came out, I played like 10 hours of it and declared it like my favorite game. I was like, this game is amazing. But it was mostly on aesthetics. It was like, it spoke to me really heavily aesthetically, and the concept of the social links really spoke to me at a time when I was desperate for real life social links. But then when I started playing the game a little bit more in depth sometime later, like I quickly realized that the social links are actually really shallow for the most part. Like, you know, getting to know these people, they're not very interesting. They kind of say the same stuff all the time, and like it didn't feel like they lead to anything satisfying. So that kind of soured me on the game for a bit. And then you know, I tried to play it again some years later, and I was more so hung up on like the bad loading times and stuff, you know, and just the PS2 things that I've gotten used to being ironed out by future generations. So I was kind of like, all right, well, it's kind of slow. It's kind of not that interesting. And then there's also the fact that it's just very teenage, where like the older I got, the harder it is for me to connect with the characters and like what they care about and what they're emotional about. Gary always at $5 is happy birthday. Let's go. I'll be sure to show Bird your super chat there. He's not with me at the moment because he's helping to kick everybody out of this convention. But thank you very much, Gary. Anyway, fuck, I totally lost my train of thought. Right, Persona. Yeah, they've now remade Persona 3. So I'm like, well, okay. That would deal with all the problems I had about, like, the age of the game, the pacing and everything. I've heard some complaints about, like, it not having some of the stuff that FES had added or the Vita game or whatever. Because there's been several versions of this game already that had already changed aspects of it. And so now there's like some stuff that's been changed, some stuff's been reverted from the change. So there's arguments about which version of the game is the best. I know there's almost no chance I'm ever going back to play Persona 3 on any other version. So if the new version is even at all, like if it's like 95% as good as the original, it's probably worth giving that one a shot over the others. But I'm also like, I'm not going to spend $60 on a game I might get 5-10 hours into and go, maybe this just isn't for me, you know? Maybe I just don't like Persona 3 that much. And I've never tried to play 4 or 5 because I've been hung up on the 3rd game for so long. Yeah, Ellen, I don't think I have the patience for Persona storytelling anymore either. And that's kind of, I look at the Persona games as, well, this was intended to get teenagers into Shin Megami Tensei. Like, these aren't games for adults, really. The Shin Megami Tensei games are following a lot of these same themes, but they're very sparse with the cutscenes, and they're a lot more difficult and esoteric. And, like, if you play, like, Digital Devil Saga, for instance, which, that's the one I most recently tried to get, like, further through back in 2021. I don't remember if I live streamed any of this. I don't think I did. I think I was going to make a video about it or something, but I just never ended up beating the game. Because even then, like, that game, it has really incredible, like, aesthetics and interesting themes and stuff, but the characters feel very shallow. And, like, ultimately the writing starts to become repetitive because it's, like, a long-ass game and it doesn't have that much to say. Now, that game, like, everything about it spoke to me in, like, a raw enough way that I was like, yeah, this feels cool, and, like, it didn't have all of the extra, like, the just tons and tons of extra dialogue that Persona has. It was just like, here's the themes, here's the action, you know, it was more cut and dry. So I really liked it, but at the same time, even then, it wasn't, like, heavy enough to carry me for fucking 60 hours it takes to play one of these goddamn RPGs, you know? Like, it's a serious time investment, and you all know how impatient I am. Like, I'll drop an anime in, like, a couple minutes because it didn't entertain me, or even a couple seconds because I think it looks really bad. Like, so with video games, it's like there's so much investment into even just, like, figuring out if this thing is fun, you know? Like, figuring out how the controls feel, figuring out if the plot stays satisfying, like, what is the balance of pacing of, like, cutscenes versus gameplay. Like, there's so many things a game can get wrong, even compared to, like, animation already has this. I made that video 1 million reasons to love and hate anime, which is just about, like, yeah, there's so many different things that can make an anime great, or so many different ways you can fumble when you did everything else right, you know? And with games, it's like 10 times worse, maybe 100 times worse. Like, there's just an infinite number of ways you can be, like, so close, but not quite there. I feel like a good example of that, watch, like, Matthew Matosis's video on God of War, where it's like, that's a game that, by most metrics, is, like, a great game. It won a bunch of awards, it made a bunch of money, it made a bunch of people happy. But, like, the way he dissects the game is like, yeah, but compare it to the actual best games, and you'll notice that there's so many things it could have done better. So many little things that are like, okay, yeah, it's really good in this area, but if it had been as good as these other games, these other areas, it would actually be the best game, you know, but it's not quite there. So yeah, with video games, it's really tough. It's very rare. It's rare that you get something like the Hidetaka Miyazaki games, which are just so lush that it's hard to like get hung up on the details of what you don't like about it, unless you are like really nitpicky about it. But you know, like, there's so much to like about the From Software games that it's just like, man, how can I overall be critical of this when there's just so much to like? I feel kind of similarly about Animal Crossing. Like, you know, there's plenty of stuff. Whenever I actually play Animal Crossing, I feel like I get frustrated about certain things, but, like, the overall experience and, like, thinking about it is just, like, it's so dense with possibility, you know, that it feels, like, innately good in some way. Alright, I'm tired of doing this podcast. It's 5:51. Bird's gonna get off in less than 10 minutes. We're going to go back to the hotel. We're going to get ready to go hang out with his family, celebrate the mutual birthdays, and you got to check out Digital Devil Saga. If anything, it's the best plot. Well, that's the one I was talking about. I got like halfway through Digital Devil Saga 1, and you know, I really like it, but it's just still not quite there. But, yeah, alright. That's it. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Maybe I'll see you later tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll find out.